Also, in light of all the news reports coming out about how Sinwar was killed, this should serve as further proof and a reminder to all of you to not trust a fucking word that comes out of mainstream media in the West. How many months did they manufacture consent and just repeat the lies that the IOF told them? How many times did we hear in mainstream media and see them print in the West that Sinwar was hiding under tunnels surrounded by hostages, when it was the New York Times that just came out and kind of reluctantly reported that it's actually the Israeli regime that uses Palestinians as human shields? And now, by their own admission, after a year of claiming that he was hiding in tunnels surrounded by hostages, they are now admitting that he was in fact above ground and fighting. He was actively participating in the fighting of the resistance. And I mean on the ground fighting. Because the IOF, despite the fact that they are running all over the media right now, all over Twitter, celebrating, acting like they're so tough and they've accomplished so much, they're too cowardly to fight on the ground. They have been dropping bombs relentlessly, indiscriminately dropping bombs, targeting civilians, drone strikes. Not only are they too cowardly, but they actually cannot. They cannot engage and fight with the resistance on the ground. And that's why, as every accusation is a confession, they project the fact that they use human shields and they hide in their bunkers and have Iron Dome and can and don't engage in the on-the-ground combat. So just like this and everything else regarding Gaza, the media lies. They are water carriers for power. It doesn't mean they never report anything true, but more often than not, they are lying or they're misrepresenting it or they're just straight up doing propaganda for the IOF or for the powerful. So I encourage you to make sure that you are reading sources that are not mainstream media. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't read the mainstream news so you can see what they're saying. I do. But you should always be following real, alternative, independent sources. And that also doesn't mean that independent sources can't be propaganda, just because they're independent means that they're telling the truth. No, you have to use critical thinking, educate yourself in media literacy. Cross-reference your sources, have multiple outlets that you look to so you can see other perspectives, and just remember that especially mainstream media has a vested interest in keeping you in line.